The morning started like any other for the CEO of a tech company, Dr. Jordan Lewis. He had boarded his first-class flight from New York to Los Angeles, eager to attend a crucial business meeting. As a seasoned executive in the fast-paced world of Silicon Valley, Jordan had become accustomed to the perks that came with his success: first-class seats, VIP lounges, and priority boarding. Yet, nothing could have prepared him for the shocking incident that would unfold. After a warm welcome from the flight attendants, Jordan settled into his spacious seat, preparing to relax for the duration of the flight. But as the aircraft taxied down the runway, the calm atmosphere was abruptly disrupted. A commotion erupted from the rear of the plane. A voice, loud, entitled, and full of arrogance, could be heard demanding that the flight attendants accommodate a sudden change of seating. Jordan turned his head to see a well-dressed white man, visibly irritated, standing near the aisle with a scowl on his face. The man was holding his boarding pass, waving it in the air like a weapon, his finger pointed directly at the flight crew. "I demand to sit in that seat," the man snapped, his voice carrying across the cabin. "That's the VIP seat. I'm a frequent flyer with this airline, and I will not tolerate being treated like this." The flight attendants, hesitant but clearly trained to comply with customer demands, approached the man. Jordan, sensing the tension, watched closely. One of the attendants, a young woman named Sarah, politely explained that the seat was already taken by a paying first-class passenger. But the man wasn't having it. "I don't care who's in that seat. I'm not sitting in coach. You move him out, or I'll make sure this airline regrets it." Jordan, who had been trying to relax, felt a sudden surge of frustration. He looked at Sarah and the other flight attendants, noting their discomfort. He wasn't one to shy away from confrontation, especially when he knew that he was in the right. With a calm but firm voice, Jordan stood up from his seat. "Excuse me," he called out. "I'm the one in this seat, and I'm not going anywhere." The white man turned towards him, sneering. "You don't belong here," he said, his words dripping with disdain. "I've flown with this airline for years, and they know better than to put someone like you in this seat. Move." The words stung, but Jordan wasn't about to let this man dictate his flight experience. He calmly reached into his bag and pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the airline's customer service to resolve this," he said, his voice steady. The flight attendants looked at one another, uncertain of what to do. It was clear that the situation was escalating, and it wasn't something that could be swept under the rug. As Jordan dialed the airline's support number, the situation took an even uglier turn. The white man's behavior became more hostile. He began shouting, claiming that Jordan was taking up a seat that he rightfully deserved. He insisted that the flight attendants prioritize him over Jordan, who, he said, was an unwelcome intruder in the VIP section. The tension in the cabin was palpable. Passengers watched in silence, unsure whether to intervene. But Jordan, ever composed, decided it was time to take action. He stood up, walked down the aisle, and approached the head flight attendant, an older woman named Margaret. "I won't tolerate this," Jordan said, his voice low but clear. "You need to do something about this man's behavior. It's unacceptable." Margaret, her face flushed with embarrassment, nodded nervously. "I'm so sorry, sir. Let me try to speak with him." It was at that moment that Jordan realized something was seriously wrong. The flight attendants, usually trained to handle such conflicts with professionalism, were visibly uncomfortable. It was as if they were powerless in the face of this man's entitled demands. The moment was no longer just about the seat, it was about respect and dignity. And Jordan wasn't about to let it go.